don't even know what that means. Huh? Jeez. Okay. Do you know what even that means? Representative. I don't know what that means. I don't, is that a joke? I don't even know. No. I don't even know.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even know what that was. That a joke?
Yeah.
I was like,
What a close diversion.
Yeah.
Permanently, you're gonna have the guy speak.
well, if he's here.
Right, it would just be for hearing, whatever.
And we just did
And I
public
can-
hearing. I didn't know.
And I can do, if you need explanation,
I mean, you know, we talked to Eamon or whatever, and he said that they do engineering. It
Right.
goes to DEC.
no, but, something else. I can,
We're talking about. He said the Microsoft, and I'm like, yeah, we're talking about the
Yeah.
agenda item.
there's something else.
It's like watching water drawing. No.
Yeah, she said it.
I was going to recognize, yeah, as a past recipient, but, I would just recognize him, but I'm not, well, I could ask him who it's. Okay. Look at the topic. Jerry's watching. Jerry's watching on Facebook Live.
President still has a 5-year term, which is good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make an issue of it now. All right, all right. I mean, that's what we normally do, so. Mm. The anticipation. Okay, 7 o'clock. So welcome everybody to the Town of Orangetown Town Board meeting of February 10, 2026. On a roll call.
Councilman Paul Valentine.
Here.
Councilman Jerry Vittori, absent. Councilman Brian Donahue.
Here.
Councilman Dan Sullivan.
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Here. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I just would ask if everyone, we're going to have a moment of silence in memory of Deputy Town Supervisor Dennis Troy when we're done.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And again, we're just going to take a quick moment of silence. We are going to have some words to say about Councilman Troy when we do our adjournments. We're not going to do it now, so just we will have an opportunity. So I just have a couple of announcements before we get on with our ceremony here. On February 21st, 2026 at 2 p.m., the Town of Orangetown will designate a portion of South Broadway in South Nyack between Corneliuson Avenue and Clinton Avenue in honor of South Nyack Police Officer Courtney F. Smith. The dedication ceremony will take place near the former South Nyack Village Hall at 282 South Broadway in South Nyack. There's actually an agenda item on there for that. We also have the Volunteer Fire Association of Japan is trying to install a 9/11 monument. They're doing a fundraiser for Never Forget. It's a new monument to honor and recognize all who perished on that tragic day, as well as those who subsequently passed. For more information, you can visit GoFundMe.com and search for the 25th anniversary of September 11th Monument Update Fundraiser. And with that, we have the big event of the night, the Black History Month 2026 ceremony honoring Officer Courtney F. Smith. So we have a couple of, I have a proclamation, which I'm going to read first, and then I have a letter from Robert Van Cura. He is the Rockland County Undersheriff and retired South Nyack Grandview Police Chief. So I'm going to read those first, then I know we have another presentation over here. So, and by the way, I love this picture. I know we harassed you to get the right picture, but we got the right picture. Okay, so whereas in 1976, in the year of America's bicentennial, President Gerald Ford declared February as Black History Month to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of African Americans to the United States, and the declaration of Black History Month has been repeated since then. And whereas in Orangetown, Black history is town history, for over 300 years, the African American residents of the town have contributed to the development of this community, and this year, Orangetown is honoring Officer Courtney F. Smith. Whereas Officer Courtney F. Smith was born on February 10, 1938 in Manhattan to Daniel and Corrine Smith, moved to Nyack with his mother, and graduated from Nyack Public Schools in 1956. And whereas Courtney attended Boston College, married Mary Sullivan, and started a family, after which he began a lifetime of service to his community. Whereas his journey of public service began as a mail carrier for the U.S. Post Office, followed by years of volunteer work with the Nyack Community Ambulance Corps. And whereas in 1966, Courtney's heart for helping others soon led him to law enforcement, where he made history as the first African-American police officer in the South Nyack Police Department. He broke barriers with integrity and strength, proudly serving for 23 years, and became a cornerstone of the department and a respected member of the Rockland County Police Benevolent Association. And whereas he was also a past member of the Westchester Rockland Guardians Association, a network of African-American law enforcement professionals committed to excellence and equality. He was a man whose life embodied dedication, community, and courage. Whereas beyond his badge, Courtney was known for his humility, compassion, and leadership. He spent over 20 years with American Cyanamid Letterly Laboratories in Pearl River, balancing his professional achievements with unwavering devotion to his family and community. And whereas Officer Smith's impacts extended far beyond his patrols, he inspired generations to pursue law enforcement and community service, paving the way for others to follow in his footsteps. He walked the streets of Nyack not just as an officer of the law, but as a guardian of his community and as a symbol of progress for generations to come. And whereas Courtney's life was rooted in love and legacy, he shared his journey with his beloved wife, Mary Smith, and was a devoted father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. His kindness, discipline, and courage remain a guiding light for all who knew him. And therefore, that I, Teresa Kenny, Supervisor of the Town of Orangetown, on behalf of the Town Board, and in order to publicly recognize and celebrate the contributions of African Americans residents of our town, do hereby proclaim February 2026 as Black History Month in the Town of Orangetown. Now I'll read the letter from Robert Van Cura. I would like to first thank the Orangetown Town Board for honoring Officer Courtney Smith tonight as part of the town's Black History Month celebration. Courtney F. Smith was appointed as the first African-American police officer for the Village of South Nyack Police Department in March of 1966 and served the community proudly until his retirement on January 31st, 1989. Courtney was well known throughout the Nyaks and was truly a community police officer, long before that title was widely used in policing. He cared deeply about the community and was proud to help people resolve problems peacefully, offering support to anyone involved in the criminal justice system, whether as a victim or a defendant. His deep voice and stern demeanor were paired with a quick wit and a sense of humor that helped build trusting relationships, especially with the youth in the Nyack area. He became a role model for many young men and women and would always stop while on patrol and talk with them about what was going on in their lives. A number of those he mentored went on to become police officers in Rockland County and the NYPD. As a young police officer, I rode with Courtney and witnessed his generosity and caring up close. He taught me that law enforcement wasn't just about arresting people who violated the law, but helping people on what for many was the worst days of their lives. He also taught how to de-escalate tension situations that would help keep everyone safe. I carried those early lessons from Courtney throughout my career with South Nyack and the Sheriff's Office. Courtney also joined other police officers, including former Orangetown Police Lieutenant Richard Dunbar, in helping form the Westchester Rockland Guardians Association to build partnerships with law enforcement agencies, their minority members, and the communities they serve, to bridge gaps and promote careers in law enforcement for people of color and assist minority communities in all matters related to public safety and public service. Courtney was a valued member of the South Nyack and South Nyack-Grandview Police Departments, and these comments are a very small reflection on a legacy that is well deserving of his recognition by the town of Orangetown tonight. And again, that's from Robert Van Cura. So we'd like to invite you up. We want to present you with the certificate. I'll come down, and if you want to say.
Oh, and then Seema.
Yeah, Seema's going to come over too. Seema, you want to make the presentation before? I'll give him the comments too. I also just want to thank the law enforcement that's here. They're here for the ceremony tonight, so thank you, officers, for showing up. Because they can't hear it on the social media.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Seema Rock. I'm with Community Affairs with Congressman Mike Lawler. I want to thank the Town of Orangetown Town Board for honoring the legacy of Officer Courtney Smith, who was South Nyack's first African-American police officer. This is great. So Congressman Lawler would like to present a proclamation to the family that hereby honor and remember Officer Courtney Smith, who passed away on September 5th, 2015, as a change maker during Black History Month, and recognize his distinguished service, integrity, and enduring legacy within the Nyack community and beyond. And like they say, Black history is American history.
On behalf of our family, I just want to express our profound gratitude to the town of Orangetown, to all assembled, to the law enforcement that are present today, for taking this time to honor our father, our grandfather, our great-grandfathers, great-grandchildren here as well. We're extremely proud, and you might have heard, but today is actually my father's birthday. So I don't believe in coincidences. I just see it as being divine timing. And again, this being Black History Month, as was mentioned, Black history is American history. I have to just point out Courtney's grandson and his great-grandson, who inspired this idea of recognizing my dad. So thank you, Andre. And he has two great-grandchildren here, King and Nalani. And it was, Andre shared with me that it was King who, they were walking past the police station one day, and Andre had shared the story of his grandfather, and King asked if there was a statue to recognize his grandfather, and that's where this idea was born. So thank you for seeing it through, and thank you everyone for being here, and thank you very much.
Did you want me to take one with your camera? Sure.
Okay, so yeah. I do want to just acknowledge we do have a past honoree here. We have Pastor Brandon McLaughlin, who was honored my very first years being town supervisor. So thank you for joining us. And I also do want to also just acknowledge another dignitary. We have Nicole Hines from the NAACP Mid-Hudson Westchester Regional Direct as the regional director. So thank you for being here. And I'm sorry, did I forget anybody else? Oh, the Deputy Mayor of Chestnut Ridge. Thank you for joining us. You travel all the way here, huh? So we were going to take a few-minute break between the ceremony and the meeting, but we do have one agenda item that we definitely want to pass before you leave. So it is the agenda item number 3. And again, it is to, the town board is officially designating and installing the memorial sign on South Broadway from Corneliuson Avenue to Clinton Avenue in South Nyack. So it's going to be called P.O. Courtney Smith Way. And so it's going to be right there by the old Village Hall. So can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, congratulations. So we are going to take a 5-minute break just for those who want to leave after the ceremony, and then we'll start with the official agenda. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Well, mine still asks me that. What are you gonna do? Hard me to dad, isn't it? I'm up to 8 grandkids.
I don't know how that.
I can't get one.
Oh, they don't? Yeah.
Where's, Dan Wilson probably.
Right, now you have the rest of your night. Take care, you too. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always ask anyway if somebody wants to. Alice, did other people sign up? Some people came in late, did they? Did some people come in late and sign up? Oh, so what are they looking at back there? We just want to know if there's other, I mean, I can always just ask, but yeah. Yeah, I just want to see if anybody, there's no other sheets. They couldn't be signing up back there. Okay. Okay, all right, we can start. Okay, so we're going to start back up. Before we open up the public comment portion, I just want to remind everybody, when you come up to the podium, please speak into the microphone. We sometimes hear people don't, and they can't pick it up on the social media or where it's being played. What's that? Oh, okay. So we're going to do our workshop, but let me just, and then when you do come up, please state your name and the town clearly, and then we do have a 3-minute rule. We're going to now go through our workshop, and then we're going to come back and open the public comment. So we already did number 3. Number 4 is grant permission for some of us to attend 2026 training school, an annual meeting of Association of Towns. That's from February 14th to the 17th. The next one is I get appointed as a delegate to vote on certain town matters at the Association of Towns. Number 6, set the public hearing for March 10th at 7:05. This is to amend Chapter 14 regarding fees for the collection of conversion and storage of records. So basically, we had a town code that we were collecting fees for, and we're expanding upon what those fees could be used for because it was very pigeonholed. So we're expanding on that. Number 7, declare ourselves lead agency for that law. Number 8, we are going to have a presentation on it. Should we bring them up now? There's somebody here for the, oh, there you are. If you wouldn't mind just explaining it in kind of as best you can in layman's terms, because it's a little complicated.
Sure, everyone can hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is James Maurer. I'm from Collier's Engineering and Design. I'm a professional engineer in the state of New York. The plan you're looking at behind you is an existing conditions plan for the site located at 622 Route 303 in Blauvelt. We're proposing a water course diversion as part of this project. The existing head wall is located to the south end of the site along Al Foxy Way. And if you just flip to the next.
And just so we're clear, this is to schedule a public hearing for another time. So
Right,
this is
right.
not the actual public hearing.
Yeah.
And then the plan on the screen now is the proposed condition where we're showing a 160,000 square foot warehouse and the proposed diversion around the east of the building, which is some concrete structures and 2 48-inch pipes that will discharge to a scour hole at the north end of the property adjacent to the existing wetlands. We're asking just that we return, set the hearing for March 24th for a public hearing.
Okay, thank you. And I do see that we refer it out to a lot of different agencies, including our engineering department and our planning board, and it does actually go to the New York State DEC. So, okay, so everybody's good with that? Anybody have any questions?
Right, and just procedurally, you've been before the planning board already, correct, and received preliminary approval?
That's correct, and Bruce Peters of the engineering department has reviewed this extensively back and forth with our office.
Okay, so just for procedure, it's already been before the planning board. The plan has received preliminary site plan approval. It's this board's obligation to determine whether or not to grant this water course diversion. They have to move the water course to put the building in, so that's why you have a public hearing and you schedule it, and as the supervisor said, has to go out for referral to state DEC, planning board, et cetera. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, so agenda item number 8, we're receiving and referring. Just item number 9, we're setting the public hearing. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10 is establish the Orangetown Community Preservation Plan Committee. So this is, you may have seen in the news or somewhere that the town had special legislation signed by New York State that allows the town to establish a community preservation fund. It's very regulated, what we have to do for this. So basically, we had to create a committee, of which you'll see the people there, and I am on the committee. We had our first actual meeting today. We have to develop a plan, and then eventually the plan gets adopted by this board, and then it does ultimately, the tax part of it does get voted on by the voters in November at the election. So this is basically the first step of establishing a committee to start working on the plan. Okay, we're going to combine items 12 through 16, which is reappointing members to different committees. So either reappoint the Blue Hill Golf Committee as 12, reappoint Orangetown Park Development Advisory Committee, and you see that everyone's name there. I'm not going to list them all, but number 14, reappoint Orangetown Shade Tree Commission for a 1-year term. Number 15, reappoint the Orangetown Project Review Committee, and number 16, appoint or reappoint Substance Abuse Committee. Number 17, we have a tax settlement of a tax certiorari proceeding, which, we always, I think there's one on here. Oh, the next one there's 2 of them, so 18 is, but I think that's the Nyack School District. Just so you know, we always get the school districts to approve. This is no surprises to them. So 17 and 18 are approving tax certiorari settlements. Number 19, approve the supplemental agreement. This is for municipal snow and ice agreement. We do this every year with New York State. Jim Dean, who's been in this job for a long time, tells me I have to do it. I don't really question him too much, but yeah, so that's number 20, approve the First Amendment to the license agreement with Troon Golf for management, maintenance, and operation of the Blue Hill and Broadacres golf courses. So if my understanding, Rob, this is we're extending the agreement?
Right, it's a 5-year extension, which was in the original agreement to do a 5-year extension,
Okay,
right?
so they exercise the option, okay. Number 21, accept the donation of memorial benches. We have, this is going to be along the rail trail, and we have 2 of them, Together Forever. Jim and Eleanor Casey is one bench, and the other one is in loving memory of Jane and Edmund Shanley, Faith Family Community. Number 22, approve a license agreement with the town of Ramapo relating to the use of the firing range. Number 23, approve out-of-district sewer hookup. So sometimes Rockland County sewers, our residents have to go into their sewer system, and sometimes they have to come into us, and when that happens, we have to approve it. So this is one of the cases where it's going to be a hookup from somebody out of district. Number 24, recognize the appointment of Colin Burns, laborer, probationary, effective February 17th in the Department of Environmental Management and Engineering. Number 25, adopt amended Town of Orangetown streetlight policy. So this was updating, we had a policy on our streetlights, and they had to update some corrections, I'll say. Number 26, approve lend assistance to the 2026 Flying Dutchman 5K. That's on Saturday, March 21st. Number 27, approve lend assistance to the Pearl River Memorial Day Parade on May 25th, 2026. May. We're talking about May already. And then we have, again, accept and file some documents from the town clerk. We'll have our audit, and then we will, like as I said, we're going to have an adjournment, and we will have some words about Councilman Dennis Troy. So on that note, again, we're going to open the public comment portion. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so again, I just want to remind everybody, if you just be sure to speak into the microphone, state your name and your town clearly for our town clerk, and we have our standard 3 minutes to speak, so there's clocks kind of all over the place. So anyway, we do have some people signed up. I have Patty Pojwhite from Pearl River. No, you're good. Stacy Maher.
My name is Stacy Maher, and I am from Pearl River. I live on the Chestnut border. This past week of attacks and outrage over Supervisor Teresa Kenny's comments at a political event have been exhausting, selective, and disingenuous. I judge our town by the actions they have done, and good job, not because they satisfy purity tests by self-appointed arbiters of perfection on Facebook who would probably fail by their own standards. I'm infuriated that anonymously run groups like Indivisible Rockland, along with social justice leaders, seize on a 10-second video as an excuse to disrupt, impose on, and hijack our town's operations. Supervisor Kenny and our board doesn't hold the preferred political views or identity of these groups. If she did, the absurd demands for ongoing sensitivity training, rehabilitation, or resignation would not be on the table. If these groups care so much about systematic injustice, they would direct their intent and impact lessons to politicians who actually caused Ramapo and Spring Valley residents to suffer from dysfunctional schools, illegal daycares, and debt trap houses. Please, let's get back to work on our town. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the only people that signed up to speak. So, yeah, just, yep. No, someone else is going. You can come up still. I'm just going to have
One at a time.
one at a time, yeah. Everyone will have a chance, so there's no.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Gina Ironside. I live in Tappan. And I didn't come to respond to the previous comments, but I came to put on record my feelings about the supervisor's comment. As a member of as a child of an immigrant from South America, as a member of the Black and Brown communities, what's happening in our country now with ICE is extremely damaging. And I understand that you have offered an apology, but I would just like to know and have it on the record that this is a very painful experience, and I certainly hope that our town board does not agree with the tactics that are being used to threaten our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Christy Thompson. I'm a resident of Pearl River. Supervisor Kenny, your comment was racist. In both of the statements you have issued since the town hall, you have failed to outright acknowledge that truth. While I recognize that you have met with community leaders and have committed to training to better understand your biases, and I do appreciate you doing so, it is vital to address the threatening nature of your words. You joked about using immigration enforcement as a tool for retaliation. That is an unacceptable abuse of power. You joked about checking the status of a Navy veteran because you did not like his behavior. People are being beaten, locked away in warehouses, and even murdered because of the very beliefs implicit in your remark. You continue to stand beside Congressman Lawler as he spreads lies about the Safety and Dignity for All Act to use as a campaign tactic at the expense of our neighbors being targeted daily by ICE. There is a rot in the Rockland County Republican leadership. It starts at the top with Mike Lawler, who last year questioned the citizenship status of a Hispanic Westchester County legislator and has previously worn blackface. And not one Republican elected official in this county had the courage to speak out against your racist and threatening remark. I am truly saddened and embarrassed to be represented by people who lack such basic moral clarity. If you truly regret your words, I ask that you turn that regret into action. Implement policies that ensure due process for all and uphold our constitutional rights. Meet with local organizations working with the immigrant community to understand the impact of current enforcement tactics. Use those perspectives to inform your positions and decision-making and to perhaps increase your empathy for those who are different than you. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Patty Pogewhite. I'm a resident of Pearl River. I am here tonight because it is important to speak not only when we are frustrated, but also when we feel fairness and perspective are needed. Recently, a video circulated showing Supervisor Teresa Kenny making a comment that many people, including herself, have acknowledged was inappropriate. Supervisor Kenny publicly took responsibility and admitted that it was a mistake. In today's climate, where very few people step forward and own their words so quickly, that matters. No one in this room or in this community is defined by a single moment in time. We are defined by the totality of our actions, our service, and our commitment to the people we represent. Over the years, Supervisor Kenny has demonstrated a long-standing dedication to the town of Orangetown. Her record includes working to protect our quality of life, supporting local services, responding to community concerns, and being accessible to residents during both good times and difficult ones. Accountability is important, but accountability should also allow room for growth, acknowledgement, and forgiveness. If we begin judging public servants solely on one mistake, especially one they have acknowledged, we risk discouraging honest leadership and replacing it with silence and fear of public service. We should expect our leaders to be human, to make mistakes, and to correct them when they do. Supervisor Kenny has done that. I urge this board and this community to evaluate leadership based on years of service, dedication, and results, not one moment captured on a video. Disagreement and criticism are part of democracy, but calls for resignation should be reserved for patterns of behavior, misconduct, or failures that truly undermine public trust. Our community is stronger when we show fairness, perspective, and the ability to move forward constructively. Thank you for your time and your continued service to the residents of Orangetown.
Is there anybody else who has not had a...
Hi, good evening. Noreen Gernon, Pearl River. I have nothing written. I just want to say that I've been coming to these town board meetings. I think the board has done an amazing job. I've lived here for 40 years. Again, what Patty had said, people maybe make a mistake. They acknowledge it, they move on, they educate themselves. I just think you guys are doing an amazing job. Please continue, because you're doing so much for the people who live here. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak that has not had an opportunity to speak? Oh, there's a face I haven't seen in a long time. Come on up, Carol.
Hi, my name is Carol Baxter, and I'm from Palisades, New York. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm referring to the presentation by Esplanade that was presented on January 6th. I assume that they'll be coming back for their presentation, and when they do, I just wanted you to be aware of a few things that maybe you didn't know. The Esplanade is located on Oak Tree Road in Palisades and on 22 acres, and it's zoned R40. On your little map, you can see that blue line. It abuts the H&A property and also the houses on Hayhoe Woods Road. The Esplanade is under new management, Arbor Court, since about 2025. Arbor Court, I assume, is the entity that gave the presentation. The presentation was a plan for 53 one- and two-bedroom apartments. The Esplanade was built in 1970, not as a nursing home, but as a place for independent living. The building contains already 130 units of one- and two-bedroom apartments that are complete with kitchens and living rooms. The property abuts H&A. At this time, we don't know what H&A's plan is, but it is assumed that there will at least be 342 units. The combination of H&A and Esplanade will create about 400 new residents in Palisades. Palisades currently has 513 homes total. The combined properties will double the size of Palisades. Zone changes, as we all know, are very serious, and I encourage you when you view their next presentation that you keep this in mind. I would hope that you will consider these developments as the big picture and not separately as each one. Thank you for this opportunity, and have a good night.
Carol, can I just ask you a question? There's a blue line here. Oh, you just showed me where the Esplanade is. Is that what that blue line, the one to the?
Okay, the blue line, that's the H&A property, the blue line.
Oh,
So
okay, the top line.
Esplanade, you can see there's the little buildings there with Esplanade. The presentation had the majority of the homes in the backyard there where it's all trees, but it butts up against that line of H&A. That road, you can see above that blue line, is the road of H&A that goes through the property. So they're right next door to each other. So I just wanted you to, and Hayhoe Woods, you can see that. There's a couple homes there that also abut the Esplanade property as well.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you knew that. I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Right. Well, we'll definitely let you know when they come back.
Thank you
We
very
haven't heard
much.
from them. Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else who has like to speak?
My name is Rex Lawlear from Palisades, New York. I just wanted to follow up on Carol Baxter's. The Esplanade is, I have property that backs up onto the Esplanade off of Hayhoe Woods Road. And, you know, I think it's been a good facility, and I want them to be successful in their property. But I think when evaluating what they're proposing, I think we should look at it with the original approval that was given to them in an R40 zone, which is there were many limitations on what they did, which was a bigger setback than would have been for single-family houses and height limitations and so forth. So I would encourage the board just to continue the thinking, not to change the zoning, but to say this was a special approval and that we stick with, you know, maybe not to the letter, but in general with how that property was approved as a facility for assisted living. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosanna, did you get his name? You got his name? I'm sorry? Okay. Thank you. He said it 3 times and her face was like, I don't, it said the woman with the name's Fraga. Okay, is there anybody else who has, Rodney?
Good evening, Town Council. I did not come with any prepared statements. I was here just to witness the event with Courtney Smith, the police officer from South Niagara View. He was an inspiration to me and part of the reason I became a police officer. And I have had a very high opinion of him and his family, who I happen to know. So I'm so honored that you were here and that you guys all passed a resolution to honor Mr. Smith. I have no prepared statement because I did not come here to discuss politics. However, I've heard some people say some things that are disparaging to you personally. I'm a town resident here in Spark Hill for over 28 years. This June makes 29. It's been a struggle, but I enjoy being here. And I can tell you my experience here is I have been treated with nothing but fairness and unbiased from this town council, from this police force, and from the residents who live here. They've embraced me, and I enjoy being here, and I plan to be here a very long time. I've also had an experience where, as a young boy, I moved up here from the South. As a young, poor black boy from the South, I lived in Nyack, New York. I roamed those streets. Sometimes I was doing good things, sometimes I was doing bad things, but I was just a kid, having fun. Still, I can tell you, it wasn't always nice. And sometimes there were things that happened because of the way that I look. I'm just really disheartened to hear people stand at this podium and say things about you that are patently false and just are not true. A mere utterance, a statement, and a moment at some town hall meeting does not define Teresa Kenny or anyone on this town council. I'm also saddened because of the passing of Mr. Dennis Troy, who was always kind to me. If I needed a question answered or reached out to him, he would answer it for me. But I can tell you, my experience here and my interactions with this town council, specifically with you, has been nothing but positive, and there's nothing racist about what you said or how you conduct business here in the town of Orangetown. Thank you.
Good evening. Nicole Hines, president of the Nyack branch NAACP, and also the Mid-Hudson Regional Director. I kind of sort of echo everything that everyone has said. I think that everyone should have a second chance. I think that when someone makes a mistake, it doesn't define who they exactly are. I also think that we have to hold people accountable for the things that they do wrong, for things that they say, for things that they do. And you said something that hurt the black and brown community. You said something that was threatening and harmful. We had this conversation. I don't need to rehash it because you and I talked about it. And you agreed that what you said was wrong. You understood it. The first apology that you put out was not an apology, and you understood that, which is why myself and Pastor McLaughlin went to you to have a conversation, to talk to you face to face on how we felt, and you agreed. Hence why the second apology, or the first apology, went out, because that was real. So we can't talk about when this room is filled with folks that don't look like me, when there's only a couple of us in here, to say that it was not harmful and it wasn't hurtful, because it was. Once you live in my shoes, once you live in black and brown folks' shoes, then you can talk about it. Until then, you can't tell me what is harmful and what is not. I am not saying that you are a bad person. I don't know you in that way. But I do know that we are giving you a chance to prove to us that something will be different and that we will hold you accountable for what you said are your next steps of doing. And that is all we can do. All we have in this world is our word, and I'm going to hold you to it.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak that has not had a chance to speak? Is that gentleman getting up to speak? Or is he leaving? Oh, he's
I
leaving.
make a motion, we close public comment.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I just want to thank everyone. We're going to go into the agenda meeting. I want to thank everyone for coming. Look, I said my apology yesterday, and I meant it from my heart. I have always been a person who seeks to build bridges and bring people together, and I failed at it. So I have given you my word that I'm going to take steps. We're going to take steps together, and we're going to start building that bridge back. And that's what I promised, and that's what I'm going to do. And so, you know, I appreciate the words of support. but I don't want to undermine, you know, what I said, because what I said yesterday with my apology, I stand by. I really do stand by it. And so I don't want it, I don't want this to become a us versus they. I don't. You know, we're a great community. We all have our faults, but I honestly, I said it, and I said it to you in private, and I'll say it again. We're going to make something good come out of this, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to take a bad situation and say we're going to do something good out of it, and it's going to make our community a stronger, better place for it. And so I look forward to working with you. Okay, and on that note, we're going to move on to the agenda items. You're all more than welcome to sit and listen to the agenda, or you could make a run for it if you want to. Okay, so we did number 3. Okay. Oh. No, okay. Okay, so can I get a motion for to grant permission for the 2026 Training School and Annual Meeting of Association of Towns from February 14th to the 17th? Motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, can I get a motion to appoint a 2026 delegate to the Association of Towns? Lucky me, I'm the winner.
Make a motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to set the public hearing for March 10th, 2026, to make changes to the town code regarding fees for the electronic conversion and storage of records? Motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So can I get a motion to declare the intention of the town board to serve as the lead agency pursuant to SECRA with regard to set that public hearing?
I make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the water course diversion, so this is a motion to accept it and refer it out to all of the agencies. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the public hearing for March 24th, 2026 at 7:05, again, with regard to the water course diversion.
I make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, a motion to establish the Orangetown Community Preservation Plan Committee and appointment of the chairperson. Who's the chairperson? I don't know. Okay, motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Allison doesn't have a chairperson. Are we supposed to have a chairperson here? Am I missing it? It's in the paragraph. Oh, okay. Just looking below, okay. Okay, good. Okay. I'm the chairperson. I was like, great, my name's on it. Okay, can I get a motion to combine and approve agenda items 12 through 16?
I make a motion to combine the items and approve.
All in favor?
Second. Aye.
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 Number 17, can I get a motion to approve and authorize the town attorney to sign the settlement for a tax certiorari proceeding?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 18, can I get a motion to approve and authorize the town attorney to sign a settlement documents with regard to the property at, I don't know my address in here, anyway, for Juniper Time owner? Motion? The
Motion.
address in here.
I'll second.
Oh, here, 400 I Avenue in Attic. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 19, approve the supplement agreement for municipal snow and ice agreement contract. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the First Amendment license agreement with Troon Golf for management and maintenance operation of the Blue Hill and Broad Acres golf courses. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 21, accept donation for memorial benches as reflected there for the Casey and Shanley on the rail trail. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You heard Brian. Yeah, okay. Number 22, approve the license agreement with Town of Ramapo relating to the use of the firing range.
Motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
23, approve out-of-district sewer hookup to the Donnelly subdivision at 276 Sickletown Road. Motion?
Motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recognize appointment of Colin Burns to the position of labor in DEME. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Traffic advisory, motion, adopt amended Town of Orangetown streetlight policy. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 26, approve lend assistance for the 2026 Flying Dutchman, 5K.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 27, approve lend assistance to the Pearl River Memorial Day Parade.
Motion.
Was that a motion?
Motion, yes.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Dan seconds.
Okay.
I couldn't get it out.
He mumbles something. Motion accept, receive, and file documents in the town clerk's office.
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Hey, Jeff.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, tonight's audit consists of 7 warrants for $14 million. Items of interest, number 2, Commissioner of Finance, $36,000 for police training. Number 4, Global Mantello, $50,000 for fuel. Number 9, South Orangetown Central School District, $95,000 for pool rental. And then if you look at the 6th warrant, it had 14 vouchers for $13 million, and that was for the 2026 special district funding. As we continue, number 11, Atlantic Salt, $135,000 for highway salt purchases. And number 19, Helmke Industries, one of Dennis Troy's nemesis, actually, $62,000 for snow removal at OHA. Any questions on the audit?
Jeff, just curious about the pool rental. What's that for? Just curious.
I'm sorry, say that again?
The South Orangetown School pool rental.
We rent the pool out for the Parks Department, and they run programs over there.
Oh, okay, Jordan. Okay, got it.
Okay. Can we get a motion to accept the audit?
I make a motion to accept the audit.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I don't believe we have any executive session, right? Nothing to say about it?
No.
Okay, so we have our adjournments. We're going to adjourn tonight in memory of Porrick Charles, who's a resident of Blauvelt, and Dennis Troy, a resident of Pearl River. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
As odd as it is, I actually spoke to Dennis on Friday, just to check in on, see how he was doing, and he didn't sound well, but he still answered the phone and called me back. He was always there if you had a question for him. He was some way of a mentor of mine when I first got on the board. He taught me a few things. One is to speak your mind and tell the truth and don't worry about what happens politically. If you do the right thing, it'll come around and do the right thing for you. So I appreciated that in Dennis, and I appreciate everything now being on this side of the dais, how much time and energy he actually put into the town of Orangetown. He had a good heart. He put his family first and his community second, and he was always there for the community and his family.
So my family and the Troys have been friends for well over 30 years, probably 40 years. So I hold their sadness, dear to my heart. I will miss Dennis. Dennis actually got me involved in, I guess, public life. He appointed me to the zoning board in 2001 or 2002. And based on just a question, Dennis, how can I help my community get back on, get involved in one of these boards? And he did. And I joked or quipped at the ceremony to honor the fields after him that, I didn't know if I should thank him or punch him, but I honestly, today, I would hug him, and his laughter, his guidance, his, demeanor, his laughs, everything about Dennis will be missed, and it's sad to lose a good friend like this.
So I think Dennis, when I reappointed him, I don't know if it was, maybe it was last year, I said, one of the things I said is that, my deputy town supervisor, who has a way of telling me, what he thinks even when I don't want to hear it. But Dennis, I met Dennis back when he got on the board because I was one of the attorneys, and he became my, one of the most loyal friends to me. He, would come to my defense when there was at odds, but so he came to me after he was my deputy, and we had gotten into, we didn't always agree, Dennis and I, and we had gone into a, it was a disagreement. We never yelled at each other like that. And he came to me and he said, Teresa, do you still want me to be your deputy? And I said, well, why not? He said, because, we don't always agree. And I said, well, that's why I need you to be my deputy. Like, I need to hear the other side. I need to hear from a trusted voice. I may not agree with you, but I need to hear it. So, he's going to be missed.
It's a big loss. As everyone knows, I ran for Dennis' seat. He's no one could replace him. What Paul said, I periodically check in with him since he's been sick, and usually when I check in with him for a question, I always leaned on him for some sort of advice. But if I texted him, he would get back to me usually like a week later, and you guys see some of the email chains. So the last time was 2 weeks later. He's like, yeah. I said, Dennis, we landed on the moon in '69. Just so you know, I don't know if you heard that. He's like, what does that mean? So, but ironically, Thursday night I reached out to him and said, he missed the meeting, and I said, how are you doing? I'm just checking in, and he said, not well. I'm in Valley. And then I had called Mike Troy just to see if there's a way we could visit. He said, just hold off, so I didn't know he was that sick. But Danny and I were actually together when Danny got the call, so it was heartbreaking. But I am so happy that the board, Teresa and the board, were able to dedicate the OMM fields before he passed, and that was an honor. He meant so much to the community, and I didn't grow up here, so. But I have the utmost respect. He's a legend. He's a hero. I don't think there's anyone who's done more for Orangetown than him. And I know, discredit to you guys, but he's just, it's a hard loss. But thank you, Dennis.
Yep, sure.
So I first met Dennis on a basketball court, getting an elbow to the face from Dennis, and it was many, many years ago when I was with the district attorney's office, and he was with the Hibernian House team, and they invited us back after, the games, and have a drink or whatever, and got to be friendly. And when he was, county legislator, he would call me once in a while and to talk about some county stuff. And then when an opportunity opened up in the town attorney's office back in 2004, he said, hey, we'd love you to come, and whatever. And ever since then, such a true gentleman. He, said, oh, that was one of the best decisions we made. And not me, of course. He appointed Teresa worked to appoint Teresa as a town attorney, and John Edwards came in, and a few others of us. And he was always very complimentary, towards us about how wonderful the town attorney's office was. And really, it was him, who did all the work for the town. But it was very nice of him. And somebody mentioned mentor. Truly made an impact on my career. I've been here now for 20-something years, and I owe it to Dennis. I really do. I owe it to Dennis, and I thanked him before, and I thank him, and I will certainly miss him.
Rosanna, you want to say anything? Anybody else want to say anything? Come on, Alex.
I don't know if I'm even going to be able to do this, but Dennis, throughout most of my adult life, has been a driving force for the community and also me. I said this in a private note to the town council, that the reason I was on the architectural review board and even Kickstart Orangetown was Dennis. He always believed in me and my abilities, no matter what. Would answer my emails when I was 16 years old and not even able to vote yet. But his friendship and what he has meant to this town. I shared it a little bit with the town council that there have been so many projects and so much of a different Orangetown that we would have today if it wasn't for Dennis. Before I heard the news, I was looking to come here just to get a minute with Dennis. That's really what it's all about in Orangetown. I could list so many things, but I would run out of time. But it's just really important that we continue to honor his legacy and what he would fight for and what he would do for Orangetown, because we'll never have somebody like that again. Thank you.
Okay, so anybody else? To Dennis. Okay, on that note, can I get a motion to close?
Make a motion to close.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.